Hey guys, welcome to What's in the Pot. I'm your host, Sean Grande, and today we are making curry chicken. That's right, Trinidad style curry chicken, not no chicken curry. We're making curry chicken. So it's What's in the Pot. I'm your host, Sean Grande. Stay tuned for more. So we're gonna start with half a chicken cut up into small pieces. There you see there. Just any kind of chicken would do. You can even use legs or wings or chicken breast. It's up to you what you want to use. The next thing we have is some pimentos, and we have some onions just chopped up into little chunks. After that, we're gonna add some shadow benny and a piece of thyme and some green onions, you can see there. And we're just gonna keep it real simple with the seasonings. I have about a teaspoon of pepper sauce, and that was pepper sauce I made in a previous video. And we have some salt, we have some chief brand, just regular chief brand curry, some granulated garlic powder, some black pepper, all-purpose seasoning, and some cayenne pepper. Cayenne just gives it a nice little extra flavor. And lastly, I'm going to use some chief brand duck and goat curry to add into the seasoning. Once you have all your ingredients together, we're going to go ahead and start seasoning the chicken itself. So we're going to start seasoning chicken first, and I'm going to start with about 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. Now you can use any kind of salt you want. I prefer sea salt. Sometimes I use Himalayan pink salt. Regular salt is fine as well. The next thing we're going to add into the seasoning for the meat is the onions and the pimentos. Now the onions are also going to cook up with the meat, and the pimentos will give the meat and the cooking process a nice flavor. Now there you see I add the duck and goat curry. Now the duck and goat curry is just to add a little bit of that extra flavor, that strong curry flavor you want to add to the seasoning of the meat. It's my personal choice. Some people just only use it for duck and curry. Now I'm going to add that granulated garlic powder. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. Then we're going to add the all-purpose seasoning. You can use any kind of all-purpose seasoning. Right there I'm using the Cool Runnings brand, but any kind will work. After we do that, once we're going to add some black pepper. Again, I use the grind black pepper. You can use any kind of black pepper you choose. Add about 2.5 teaspoons of black pepper. And for the cayenne, you just want a little bit, probably about a little less than 1 teaspoon. And we're just gonna add that cayenne. It's gonna give it a nice rich flavor and a little bit of spice. And then lastly, we're gonna add our pepper sauce. Once we add our pepper sauce in, we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. Now I'm using my hands to mix up the chicken. I prefer to use my hands when I'm seasoning meat. You kind of get all the flavors right in there. Now, some people use gloves, some people use a spoon. It's up to you what you want to do when you're mixing up the meat. If you don't want to get that pepper on your fingers, then go ahead and use a glove or use a spoon. This is just my method. Now, the last ingredient I just added was the green onion, shadow benny, and thyme. Now, the best thing with seasoning any kind of meat is to leave it in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours after adding all the ingredients, or you can leave it overnight. We just want to let that sit and get all the flavors into the meat itself. So we have about 2 tablespoons of oil in there, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of curry. You can use less oil if you want. It's depending on how healthy you want to be or how much less oil you want to use. Now I'm going to turn the pot, and as you can see, that curry's bubbling up. You want to make sure that oil is very hot, and once it's pretty hot and you add the curry, put your temperature down to medium, and you want to turn that curry so it doesn't burn, because you don't want that burn tasting curry, but you don't want it to essentially dry up. You can see that nice golden brown, the color of the curry is getting a little bit of it's getting a little bit more of that darker brown. At that point is where you want to let the curry bubble up, and then we're going to add our meat. So it's been about 2 minutes. Now the curry's at the perfect point where we're going to start adding our chicken in. Once you add that chicken in, you're going to make sure you get everything out of the bowl. All the onions, all the seasonings that we season the chicken with, we want to make sure we put that into the pot, because that's also going to add flavor to the meat. So we don't want to leave anything behind. As you can see, I try to scoop everything out of the bowl. And once the chicken hits the pot, you can see it frying up, and you want to get that coating. You want to get that curry powder that you had burning on the pot. You want to get that coating all over the chicken. That gives the chicken a nice rich flavor, and also gives it a nice color when we start cooking it. So it's not going to kind of lose the color. It's going to give that beautiful curry chicken color that you're familiar with. So you're going to keep on turning the pot. Once we've turned the pot a few times and let that coating get there, add some water. I add probably about half a cup of water there. What you want to do is once you add the water, turn the chicken a couple times, then put the lid on it. The main thing is once you put the lid on the chicken itself, it's going to let loose its own natural juices. And we're going to let that simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. So this is about 20 minutes later. I've added scotch bonnet pepper to add some more flavor. Now, after about 20 minutes, the pot should dry down. You want to add a little bit more water and let it cook for another 20 minutes. Total cooking time is about 40 to 45 minutes, depending on the chicken. 40 minutes later, and we have perfect Trinidad style curry chicken. There you have it, quick, simple. It's what's in the pot. I'm your host, Sean Grande. Don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Thank you for tuning in to What's in the Pot. I'm your host, Sean Grande. Till next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you add your comments. Let me know what you want me to make. Holidays are coming up, so I might be making some ham, some pastel, any other traditional holiday favorites you want me to make from the Caribbean. Please let me know and I'll go ahead and make that for you. It is What's in the Pot. I'm your host, Sean Grande. Thank you very much for tuning in. Till next time, peace.